you're going to soon find that my success, just like many others before me, was not planned at all the way it has finally turned out. As a matter of fact, you may be surprised to find out that I never even wanted to be a real estate investor, a speaker, an influencer, or even an educator. As a matter of fact, if I'm being completely honest, I never even planned any of this except to have a nice, safe, secure career that was taught by my parents. You see, my background is much different than who I am today. Maybe like yours, the path you started out on is not the same one you're on today, and not by choice either. Growing up in Los Angeles, I only wanted to do one thing when I grew up and nothing else. That was become an airline pilot. As a young boy, I used to look up in the sky and see these magnificent metal birds elegantly and effortlessly sailing through the air. I remember saying to myself, one day I will be flying in command of one of those airplanes. 25 years later, that dream became a reality. I got hired with a major international airline, and I was 10 years younger than the average pilot that was hired. I was so young on the seniority list that I would have retired number 2 in the whole company because of how many years I would have been there. I took my first flying position based in the South Pacific on the island of Guam, and I had the best job in the world. And in my mind, it was also the most safe and secure job that I could ever imagine. And this was true all the way up to September 10th, 2001. On September 11th, 2001, we all know the tragedy that happened, and the world changed forever that fateful morning. I was not immune from this change that was about to happen. On September 13th, my illusion of having a safe and secure job was my first punch in the face of reality when I was delivered a furlough notice. Like ripping off a Band-Aid, within roughly 72 hours, my whole life, my education, my training was dissolved right in front of me. The following weeks, I started to really think about what would I do if the whole airline industry ceased to exist. It sounds a little bit extreme, maybe even a bit overdramatic now, but at the time, it was a harsh reality. It was pure, unknown, and knee-jerk reaction by the industry, and I needed to have something else in my future. The follow-through and second punch came to me when I realized that being an airline pilot, yes, is an amazing job, but it's such a specialized field. There really are not many other jobs I'm qualified to do as a career except fly a metal tube around in the sky. And with roughly 50,000 other pilots about to lose their jobs, the playing field was about to become very crowded. Well, I never wanted to stop flying, and luckily I never did lose my job. I came within 30 pilots of the bottom of a 6,000 pilot seniority list. And it taught me an amazing life lesson. If I am not in control of my destiny, someone else is. I was told by one of my mentors, Steve, everyone has a future. Some people just choose theirs, and other people have it chosen for them. I realized I needed to choose my future on my own terms. I did not want to have anyone else with a swipe of a pen decide that I was going to be downsized and have no control over my destiny. As I started down this lifelong journey, I began learning and realizing that real estate was a true vehicle for creating wealth. In fact, I learned that some of the wealthiest people on the planet, as well as the happiest people on the planet, were somehow, some way, tied to real estate. I vowed at that moment that I was going to be one of those people, and I would never let anyone else decide or dictate my future. My promise today is that if you watch my educational content and do what I say, you will be opened up to a whole new way of learning and a whole new way of thinking. I will give you the wealth and happiness that you want and desire out of life. Thank you very much.